Man, I'm excited. This is gonna be a really cool bike.
We're gonna have to tie in there.
I love the smell of the shop, man. Tube internal tubular.
This is what you call keeping it 100. Blockhead stripped the bike down, got all the stuff off of it that's kind of gonna be in the way of what we're gonna do.
While you're walking on a bike and Billy Lane's sitting right there, that's stressful. What up, Block fam? Welcome to the next episode of the 2025 Harley-Davidson Heritage Born Free build. Behind this brand new 2025 Harley-Davidson is a 1937 Harley-Davidson. Entirely coincidental, these two are side by side. I'm literally trying to build this one to replicate, to pay homage to this one. Same year, same color, same engine, all that stuff. We are here at Billy Lane's shop in Tennessee. We are going to be working on the back end of this. Whenever we were invited as a Born Free builder by Harley-Davidson, he reached out and he was saying like, hey, if there's any way I can help, let me know. And so I said, hey, actually, I'm thinking about hardtailing this thing. I don't trust myself enough to do like structural welding on the back of this. You know, is that something you'd be interested in collaborating on? And he said yes. So here we are, we've brought the bike to Tennessee, and essentially we are going to hardtail a Softail. We were kind of experimented around with the seat. Previously, that was one of the days that we were just here and working in the van. And then we've got the 37 here. So this is Mike Wolf's 1937 knuckle. Billy has more of that information, but it was done very, very well.
Those are springs, like they're awful. They suck, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you did smaller and put like a nice little strut in there or something like
So that's what I have, yeah.
Okay.
I've got like a little shock. P.S. Sean, Bikes and Beards, just walked over.
Hey, what's happening?
So if you guys don't know of his channel, everybody knows of his channel.
Small little channel.
We're getting some advice from Sean because he's got the 37 knuckle over there. So you're saying with the pogo.
If you could accomplish it, I think that'd be really, really cool.
Yeah, agree.
Because that's what kind of gives it, because the spring seat makes it look more like a race bike. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what really gives it that
I guess we could, yeah, if we took like some hollow stock and then just ran it to like the top, where the top of the transmission is.
Yeah.
Yeah, if we could disassemble or shorten it up a bit.
I got my WLDR in there, and with the pogo, a lot of times the pogo gets like welded, like it gets seized in there. We used a winch off my Jeep and strap the frame. The frame was all apart. We strapped the frame to one of those like those cylinders.
Oh yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And then just
Parking
winched
goes.
it out. It came out really nice, but they're bearing to get out. Man, I'm excited. This is gonna be a really cool bike.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about yours? This was the one that to try to get people to buy it for like $10,000 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got so much hate from that video.
Did you?
I got like an incredible amount of hate from that video, from collectors and from the dealerships. Someone threatened to sue me. Pretty big deal.
I mean, I thought it was lighthearted.
I thought it was lighthearted. I thought I got the point across. But yeah, there was this bike. And then I bought this one. This was actually John Parham's bike, JP Cycles.
I was about to say, yeah, JMP, yeah. Which is sponsoring a huge amount of this build.
Is it? Have you ridden these bikes before?
Yeah.
You ridden a foot clutch before?
Yeah, but a while back. I don't know that I'd trust myself with a freaking original knuckle.
You got a pan that's running pretty good. And whenever you're done here and you got time, you know, we'll pop in over there. Billy's actually working on this. He's fixing the, there's a crack here.
Yeah,
which is normal right off the knuckle. Yeah, it goes to diving board right off the knuckle. And he found it out when he was getting the bike to run. He's like, oh, I can get this thing to start with your kickstart with your hands. And I'm like, no way. And then he did a bunch of stuff to it. He made a video about it. It's a really good video. And then he found out that this was cracked right there. He said he can fix it, so he's gonna fix it for me.
Dude's a magician, man.
Yeah, yeah. There's no more people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's no people my age that knows how to do that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, whenever he gets that thing running, man, if you want to take it for a spin.
That'd be sick, man. I appreciate it. All right, guys. Sean, Joe, thank you guys for the advice. I think Billy's in here getting the shop cleaned up. So we're saying it's the cleanest he's ever seen it.
Did you guys meet?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
It's gonna be badass.
Oh, you're talking about the hardtailing a Softail?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's gonna be sick, dude.
Yeah. Hopefully.
It's super easy.
Oh, okay.
Incredibly. Yeah, you just like...
Everyone's doing it, dude.
Just take a bar and you just put it straight from, you know, the frame to the swing arm
I'm
plate.
gonna use yellow string and get myself a good eyesight thing.
Yeah.
Cross it up. I'll be good.
Well, that shit, dude.
A plumb bob and some yellow string.
Oh, yeah.
Do it.
I love the smell of the shop, man. She's officially on the lift, which is crazy that there's a bike that I'm working on with the legendary Billy Lane in the shop on the lift. Bro, thank you.
I'm happy to do it.
Crazy.
So you know how I generally do things is we get the bike on the lift. That's the end of day one.
Yeah. I feel ya.
Go take a break and celebrate the victory.
Yeah. Have a
Come
beer
back.
or whiskey.
Start fresh the next morning.
For me, take everything apart, stand back, walk around it a bunch, look at it, and then that's the end of day one.
Yeah, but you know what? You're not wrong doing that. I bet you I spend 25% as much time looking at it as I do working on it.
Yep.
I look, I do something, I mean, different angles, you know, on the ground, up on the lift, and you see things, and that's how you kind of get an eye for perfection.
Yeah.
And symmetry and, you know, proportion and everything else. So I look a lot, so you're not wrong in doing that.
You're studying it, like with the tractor seat, obviously wanted that for that old school look, and from the side, great. From the top, I'm like, oh, it's like, well, what am I gonna do about that now?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out when we get there. But yeah, I'm not super happy with it, like sticking way the hell out here. I'd rather come a little bit back more. But once we remove the shock, I think I should have some room to potentially like go in a little bit, but it's chunky.
And it's heavy and it's coming out. You're not going to need it, so get it out of there. But we got to get to stripping this. So to weld it and get it straight, it needs to be on one of those two tables. But I have a plan that I think might work. Let's see what's on the air conditioner. Got a machine, a slug big one there to take up the shock because this is a structural part of the frame. I'm gonna have to make a tool. I don't have a socket this big, but we'll have to make a tool. A nut on this side, there's a hex on this side that I'm gonna have to hold, but I can make a tool to hold it. So I'm gonna come right off, you know, inside the frame. I'm gonna come right off that nut and come straight down, and then straight from here weld the bar back that goes to this. You know what like an Evo Softail swing arm looks like?
Yeah.
So that swing arm comes all the way down. So I'm basically gonna come off this pivot and weld a tube down and then weld a tube back. This pivot is your structural point. That's where they want all the stress to go anyhow. The frame's got a split in it, so it's pinched, but the
Comes from what, this angle?
yeah, it comes from the bottom, thank goodness.
That was an engineer thinking of the mechanic, thankfully.
Because there's nowhere for me to attach down at the bottom here unless I come all the way up under here. So this is that 1 1/4 inch tubing, which is what your swing arm is made of. Well, you know, it's a forging here, a forging here. This has a little, what I would call a TIT, but like a little nub inside here that slips in.
What's TIT stand for?
Tube internal tubular, or TIT.
Tube internal tubular.
No,
Sounds a little redundant. You just made that up?
Yeah.
Nipple.
I would just call it a tit.
We call it a nip.
Yeah. Ultimately, we're gonna get rid of this part here. This is going bye-bye, and we're just gonna use the axle plates. Figure a way to get this, peel this tubing off that's onside that's attached to the piece inside, and be able to slip this one over. 14 inches, 16 inches of steel here, and then the bottom is gonna be more, a little bit longer, but it's just working, you know, in an environment I'm not used to working in.
Making Billy Lane uncomfortable, boys and girls.
Oh, come on. But we know the thing is we gotta tie into here because this is where your fender strut was.
Yep.
We can't just leave this way. So somehow we're gonna have to tie in there. That's what we'll do is we'll weld a piece of tubing across here that'll go between the tire and where the shock used to mount because the shock's gonna be gone. And then we'll cut this, you know, along here so this half of the tubing is showing, and then bolt it back up here too, so it'll weld up in here and bolt in here so that it basically eliminates any kind of visual that it's been messed with. So
Yeah,
it
and
looked
then-
like it was made this way.
Oh yeah.
This crossbar right here is actually where your rigid fender that you have sitting there is going to mount.
Oh
So-
yeah. Right here.
Yeah. That would mount to here on a stock Harley-Davidson frame, you know, from the 1930s, and then it'll give you some strength. We'll get all that stuff set up in the morning and probably make pretty quick work of this. You know, like I'm pretty fast once I get moving. Figuring it out is the hard part and having a plan. And then once that's kind of accomplished, everything else goes pretty quick. And then you can also move your seat back, you know. Like that's the thing I love about rigids is, like if you're sitting here, you're so far off the ground, but if you move back just a couple inches, you're way closer to the ground.
Right.
You're really gonna notice that difference in seat height. You'll be able to move your seat back as far as you want. Because once your fender's gonna be mounted way back from where it is now visually, and you're gonna have a funny looking gap in here.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have to move your seat back which is actually going to be better. It's going to be lower, but it's also going to make it more comfortable for you to ride it. It's going to, you get that feeling of, and me and Larry used to talk about this, like sitting up on a motorcycle versus sitting down in it. Because these bikes they skew front heavy because of the engine is, up there, and as you move your body weight back, it makes it handle so much better because you're, equalizing the weight. You're probably going to drop these forgings and stuff we're going to take out of here. You're probably going to drop 30 pounds off this thing, that shock and all that stuff.
Yeah. All right, so we've got a game plan, and we're actually going to stop, just like Billy said. So, because we have to get some performance work done at Moonshine, we're doing, I think, a stage 2. They haven't really told me. It's going to be a surprise for all of us. We need to have it, obviously, in operable condition as it is right now. Billy's saying, essentially, once we get to cutting it, like it's going to take a bit. So we're going to hold off for now so that we can get some motor work done, head up to Moonshine, get that knocked out. Then we're going to bring it back and resume on the choppy hardtail stuff with Billy tomorrow.
But what we did today was we stripped it enough to where we can see what it needs. I've never ever looked at one of these more than a glance before, a M8 with this shock under the seat and everything. So now that we've had the chance to take a look at it, we've got a plan, can figure it out. I already pre-cut that tubing. I'm gonna clean the tubing up so it's ready to weld and go on. So when you get back here tomorrow, it'll be like that, and we'll just jump into it. I mean, it's still a full day's worth of work, but we can work through the night tomorrow night because I have cut a deal with the devil.
Yeah, we'll let you guys assume what that means.
Or kind of deal with my wife. Right? When I stay late at work, I'm the devil. So
it's a hard balance, man. That work-life balance.
Yeah,
it's like with 4 kids, especially. I can't imagine.
She's just so overwhelmed with the kids by the end of the day,
Yeah.
And that's when I take over. That's my second job.
Yeah.
What's actually my first job? I work second shift.
Yeah. Sam, that was me this morning at 5 a.m. You texted me and I was like, dude, I'm awake with you.
See, I normally wouldn't do that, but I'm like, he's got a new baby. I'm like, I know they're up.
Yeah.
I know. I hate to do it, but I knew you were up.
I was 100% up, man. Cool. So, yeah, plan of attack. We're going to bolt the fender up, load it back up into the van, get Moonshine treatment, kind of compartmentalize these videos. I think we'll do the Moonshine one as a separate one, so that'll be over separate video. And then obviously Fabrication with Billy. Dude, I really appreciate it. Like, this is still, like, to me, you know how Crucy was fangirling whenever he met you?
So I didn't notice that, but I didn't. To me, man, I'm just another guy in the motorcycle business who's been lucky enough to be here for 4 decades.
The accomplishments that you have, I mean, you're a legend in the industry. Like, being here, being able to work with you, like, it's not lost on me, like, how much of a rare opportunity it is. So I really appreciate you, man. I appreciate you taking the time and getting out of your comfort zone for something like this. The fact that it's for Born Free, this is something that I'll keep forever. And like being able to work with you on it, man, that's massive. So, dude, thank you so much, really. Get this thing loaded up and off to Moonshine. All right, so on this side, we're removing any unnecessary, right? So we got the belt guard off, obviously the fender off, the lower belt guard off, the lighting, all that stuff. Since we are going to be removing the shock, I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the bracketry here so that we can have access to this whole section clean. Billy's over here on the lathe.
Yeah, I'm just descaling, all the steel tubing we use to make your rigid rear section, comes with a foundry scale, they call it on it. It's like oil and grease and stuff from the heat from the foundry. And then it's been sitting outside for, a week or so, 2 weeks, and all the rain we've had, it's all rusty. So I'm just kind of descaling it so that when I weld it, it's clean. When I wear out my belt sander belts, I take them and I just cut them and use them for stuff like this. Abrasives are so expensive.
Dude, yeah.
So it's like it's too wore out to really shape stuff on my belt sander anymore, but it's still good for something like this, just for descaling. So maybe a little home trick for somebody who's doing stuff.
Yeah, resourceful. Just talking about losing fingers, and apparently Billy lost his fingers too.
Oh yeah.
Not the only one. Did you ever tell this story on yours?
I was backing out of my driveway and I had my driveway was on like a little hill, and I had my hand on the right grip, and I let my left hand dangle, and I was looking back over my left shoulder, and my fingers got caught right in the rear belt drive of the bike. Got biked with belt drive. Cut the end of my middle finger and my ring finger on my left hand right off. Pick up the pieces and take them to the hospital with me.
Yeah, I did the same, picking up the pieces Unfortunately, with mine, it got crushed, not cut, so they weren't able to reattach. But that's cool that they were able to reattach yours.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it took me probably 15 years where like I didn't play guitar forever. I thought I wouldn't play guitar again because I still can't feel anything in them, but I just had to basically learn how to, the level of pain that I feel is like how I determine how much pressure I'm putting on them. Like when I ride my bike in the winter.
Dude.
Like, and those fingers get cold.
Yeah, mine hurts like a mother when it's cold.
Yeah, because you know the nerves aren't where God put them. The nerves are now where you put them. You know what I mean?
Nerve relocation.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys have lost fingers, post up in the comments down below. It's more common than we thought. I've worked in some high stress environments, you know, wrenching on cars and bikes and all that stuff. But while you're walking on a bike and Billy Lane's sitting right there, that's stressful.
See, my wife thinks I'm here working, man. That just sold me out.
Oh, my son, yeah, he's working. He's waiting on me, and I feel terrible about it. Oh, I grabbed the wrong socket. How embarrassing.
All right, so Blockhead stripped the bike down, got all the stuff off of it that's kind of going to be in the way of what we're going to do. We're going to make a hardtail frame out of the Softail to mimic what a 1930s Harley-Davidson knucklehead would look like. This whole swing arm pivots from this point here, and the suspension moves up and down is what gives you, you know, a softer ride than a hardtail does. So what we're going to do is save his axle plates and the brake hardware and everything from here on and get rid of all of the rest of this. It's going to be gone. The shock, all this stuff is going to be gone. But we have to mount to the bike somewhere, so we're going to use this pivot point to mount. We're going to come right up here and bolt to these bolts from the swing arm. So it'd actually be almost like a bolt-on rigid up top here. And we'll probably weld in or do something else up in here too once we get all this stuff out of the way. And then we need to come down and connect at the bottom here. And that creates some issues for a couple reasons. One, his oil tank is underneath the gearbox, and the drain is right there, so we have to make sure that we don't obscure the drain so that oil can be changed. The belt is over here on this side, so we have to make sure we aren't interfering with the belt. And then there's this issue, which is the angle here, forging on the swing arm. So like I'll measure it right now, you know, just get a rough measurement of it. But this angle, 30, 31 degrees, somewhere in there. We want this to line up with this line on the top of the frame, right? So we can bring this up a little bit, which is good because we want to lower the bike.
Yep.
His front end is 3 inches shorter than the front end that's on here now. So if we put his front end on and don't lower the back, the bike's gonna be raked downward in the front, which is gonna look really funny. But also, I need this angle to come directly down to the bottom. You see the difference in angle here. So we're gonna go basically from like a 30 degree to about a 40 degree angle. So it's about 10 more degrees in here. The forging's set at whatever it is, 29, 30, 31 degrees, but I'll just put a little bend in the tubing here. That's the good thing is when it comes to steel, you know, we beat it into submission until it works. You know, the steel doesn't tell me what's gonna happen, I tell the steel what's gonna happen. So we'll get it, but that's a couple things we gotta do. And obviously use your mounting point because this is structural. And we have to use this because this is also your rear motor mount. The motor and transmission pivot, you know, and the rubber mount set up in this bike pivot from this axle right here. So we have to maintain that. So we're gonna have to pull that axle out. When we pull the swing arm out, the engine's gonna drop down in the back. And we'll have to get it all back lined up in there. So, you know, we got a little bit of work cut out for us. But yeah, so we're gonna take this all apart, get the wheel out, get the swing arm off. And I've already got some steel cut up and cleaned up, descaled and cleaned up on the lathe. We're gonna get to work because we're burning daylight.
Oh, yeah. All right, so we just took it down off the stand. So seeing it, I haven't even stepped back and looked at it yet, but Billy's smiling, so I think that's,
Oh, it does look good.
that's a good thing.
Does look good.
Dude, yes, bro. Serious, that looks so good.
It really does. And the drop in the back is like substantial when you're gonna need it once you put that Springer on.
Yeah.
You're gonna know you needed to do that.
Yeah, it'll level out for sure. Seriously, thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Like,
I'm glad to do it.
massive. Like, just absolutely huge. Since we did lower it, it did tension the belt. So I was planning on chain driving it anyways. That way, one, it'll be way easier to maintain and all that stuff with a hardtail. Just drop her down.
I run the frame seat. Oh man.
That shit's tough.
Come on now. Come on, ladies, just let me ride. Why can't you just let me ride?
I mean, that's a huge step in the Born Free Heritage 37 knuckle retro mod. I don't know what the hell I'm calling it. We got to come up with a clever name. Today was like an absolutely huge day for it. Like hardtailing a Softail, that's a big deal. You know, hang out with Billy, obviously, dude, absolute master of his craft. And for us to knock this out, literally, like, we started it today, ended it today. All right, guys, so we are going to get the bike out of here. We're gonna load it up. It's 2:30 in the morning. We've been at this all night. Guys, seriously, I cannot thank Billy Lane enough. I really appreciate you.
Look at the haze in the shop. You're welcome. That's it. The dust that we cut off of this thing.
Yeah, lots of haze, lots of metallic taste. But y'all do me a favor, if you're not following him already, you should be if you're interested in fabrication, custom builds. This dude's an absolute legend. He's been doing this for how long?
Almost 40 years.
40 years.
1987.
Yeah. The hubless chopper stuff, the biker build-off stuff, custom parts. Like, seriously, go check him out. I'll be sure to link all of his links down in the description below. But yeah, you guys do me a huge favor. Go give him a follow across all that stuff. Like I said, big step in this build. Hope you guys have enjoyed this episode. I know it was probably longer, but this was a very big job. So do me a favor, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about the progress so far. Next up, we are fitting chain drive fenders, front end, so Springer, custom paint, and I got about 3 weeks to be able to do all this shit. So we'll see where we end up. Got the stage 2 cam from Moonshine, got the hardtail from Choppers Inc. Billy Lane. I earned my all-nighter Choppers Inc. badge. I'm gonna get that tattooed on me now somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, do me a favor, hit the like. If you guys aren't subscribed, hit subscribe. Hit the bell icon also so it sends you notifications of future uploads and activity. Until next time, ride safe, stay vigilant. We'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.